I know you guys love my professional background back here, but I'm here in my garage. And as soon as I finish this video, I'm gonna go outside and probably work on my yard or go do some work on my food truck. But anyway, I saw this video, Candace Owens, how she was denied service in Aspen, Colorado, because of her political views. That's pretty sad, you know. Um, Maybe they're gonna start denying service for medical treatment because of political views. This is crazy. I know this pandemic has been politicized greatly all over the world. And you know, the sad thing about it is they had to dig deep into finding out who she was because she didn't use Candace Owens. She used Candace Former, her marriage name. And so they really had to dig deep to find out who she was. And when they found out who Candace Farmers was, they said, "Oh, this is Candace Owens." So we don't like her political views, so we're gonna deny service. But check this out, and you tell me what you think. This is crazy.
This is so insane. I'm just gonna get right into it because I can't even believe it. There's so much to unpack here. So I am right now in Aspen, Colorado. Here we are. We're getting to the guts of this, okay? I'm in Aspen, Colorado, and my assistant, I said to her, I just found out, I'm like, actually, because of timing, I should get a COVID test here for somewhere else that I have to be at that wants proof that I don't have COVID. And she's like, fine, total no problem. And she books a COVID test for me. Normal, not a big deal. So I'm assuming that we're gonna have to go there, or the person's gonna come here and swab me, not very comfortable, but whatever. And my assistant comes to me and her face is white, and she's just like, "You are not going to believe this. We just received an email from the COVID facility that they are declining to give you a test because of who you are." I was like, this can't be real. There's no way this is real. I have to look at the email and see if this is in writing, because this can't actually be real, because that doesn't make sense. We're in a public health crisis. If I knew someone didn't get the vaccine and I worked for a COVID testing facility, I would obviously be happy that a person who had the vaccine was doing the right thing and complying by getting a test to make sure they didn't have COVID to spread it. Wouldn't it be common sense? Actually, wouldn't it also be common sense that if you work or operate a COVID testing facility, that the majority of the people that you see are unvaccinated? That's the reason they're probably getting tested, because they're not requiring people that are vaccinated to be tested every 5 minutes. So this is weird.
First, I'm sorry this happened to you. It doesn't sound like America. Second, it's kind of ominous. Are we leaving anything out? Is this as clear cut as it sounds?
It's as clear cut as it sounds. I'll first and foremost say I'd like to not have to get COVID tested, but as you brought up in your previous segment, this is one of the only ways you can maintain your bodily autonomy right now. And they're saying that if you do not get the vaccination, then you're going to have to get a COVID test to move. If you want to go to an event, you need a negative COVID test. If you want to leave the country, if you want to fly. So I perpetually have to get COVID-19 tests to prove that I'm negative. It's been 2 years of me traveling nonstop. I've been to 3 countries, 23 states, and I don't have COVID-19, but I still have a test for it. So this is the first time that I booked a test and somebody wrote back and said, I'm refusing to give you this test. And it begs the question, if this is a real deadly virus, right? If the unvaccinated are the people that are behind this pandemic, people like me, it's a pandemic of the unvaccinated is now what they're starting to say. That's the new rhetoric that they're saying. And you really believe this, why would you prevent somebody from complying with local COVID measures and trying to get a test and do the right thing? That doesn't make sense. That defies the science that you claim is so true.
How is it legal for some clinic in Colorado, I think, to say we're not going to give you medical care because we don't like your politics? Is that legal?
I don't know that it is legal. We've heard a lot of people contacting us saying it's absolutely not legal. They're also saying that it's likely that she took either state or federal funding to maintain her business, which, by the way, she minted the business at the end of last year. So I love the part in her email where she's speaking like she's given so much sacrifice to this pandemic. She's been around for 9 months, and she's treating herself like she's a soldier coming back from Afghanistan, and this is kind of hits at the point that these people, and I'm being so serious, this is not about health anymore. This is about politics. These people are sadistic. They are sadists. They like fear. They like to manipulate you. They like control. They don't care about public health. If this was a public health crisis, she would say, you know what? I hate Candace Owens, but of course, she is in my town. I'm going to give her a test to make sure she doesn't infect anybody else.
Well, thank you. You just got to the irony at the heart of it. This is someone who's lecturing you because she says she cares more about COVID than you do, so she's not going to test you to see if you have it. It sounds like you care more than she does.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I may disagree with her. I do not want to get the vaccination. I don't feel that I am personally at my age and in my demographic in any trouble right now if I got COVID-19. I hope I don't get it, God forbid. But that's not an excuse for me to not pay attention to the rules and the policies and the procedures. I'm following the law. I'm being a good citizen. What she's doing is something entirely different. She's being a radical. She's being a leftist. And she is, in fact, an activist, not a healthcare worker.
I guess I'll start from the obvious top, which is that I have been very outspoken in this COVID-19 pandemic. We are allegedly in a public health crisis. We are all survivors who have survived a very deadly pandemic and have had our lives fundamentally altered because of it. Part of my outspokenness, if you will, is that I have been very clear that I have made a personal decision for me and my family not to get the vaccine. Again, personal decision. I've never said to any person that they shouldn't do it. I'm a personal freedom person. So if you think that you examine your life and you think that the vaccines are good for you, then you should get them. And I have tons of friends that have gotten the vaccine, and I have tons of friends who haven't gotten the vaccine, and I have tons of family members who have gotten the vaccine and tons of family members who haven't, and it hasn't stopped us in any way from being friends or family. So that's always from my perspective. And so as a result of me not getting the vaccine, and I know fellow non-COVID-19 vaccine havers can relate to the fact that they have created a bunch of barriers and hoops to jump through in terms of us having to constantly get tested for COVID to do anything. And I've just complied with it all. I believe in individual freedom, but I also believe in small business freedom. So if there's a small business who is that is really concerned about COVID-19, and they say, well, you know what, in order for you to attend our event, we want you to show proof that you don't have COVID because we don't want you to spread it. I'm happy to comply with that. I'm not happy to comply anywhere that requires that you show vaccination proof. I'm against showing papers to go in and out. And so as a result, I have pledged off going to New York or Los Angeles while they have these policies in place, because I think they're totalitarian, and I don't think that your personal health is something that a private business owner should be asking you about. And so I take a look at the email, and it is literally the biggest heap of virtue signaling crap that I've ever seen in my life. First and foremost, I want to point out to the fact that this test was booked under my marriage name. So the test was booked under Candace Farmer. Like, no way that raised red flags. This means that this facility actually actively Googled who was booking tests to see who they were, right? And then they determined that, oh my God, Candace Farmer is actually Candace Owens. I'm not going to administer this test, and I'm going to write this virtue signal email. And I know a lot of people are saying, I don't know if this is legal. I have no idea. I don't know. I can't imagine it is. In a public health crisis, I can't imagine it's legal, but there's also private business rights. I have no idea. So this is the email which came from, it's called it's an Aspen COVID test. And the person that operates the facility is a woman named Susanna. And Susanna wrote my team an email, and this is what she said. I've just learned of this testing request, and as the owner of this business, am going to refuse this booking and deny service. We cannot support anyone who has proactively worked to make this pandemic worse by spreading misinformation, politicizing, and actively dissuading people from receiving life-saving vaccinations. This is my favorite part of the email. She writes, the only other local testing option is the free kiosk by City Hall. They mail their tests to Texas and have inconsistent result times. Do not take appointments, so it's walk-in only midday weekdays in their back alley. But basically, she's only saying that she's not going to give me a test, but she's like, and haha, good luck ever getting one, because I'm the only person. I have a monopoly in Aspen, and you can't even get one. Thanks, Susanna. Like the arrogance of writing that afterwards, being like, good luck getting one because I have a monopoly here in the mountains of Aspen, is so typical leftist. Susanna, this is beyond stupid. I can't even unpack the layers of stupidity. She accuses me of politicizing the virus while writing an email saying I'm politicizing the virus by declining to give you a COVID test. She's literally saying I'm politicizing the virus because I don't like your politics, and therefore I'm not going to allow you to comply with our local COVID measures. Think about that.